Bob and I will be moving around, and we'll be moving camera stuff around. Again, ignore us. Just pay attention to the pretty lady. Oh, did I slate it? Didn't slate it, did I?
No.
All right.
Ouch.
Okay.
Are you gonna have him do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Already did.
Okay. And the other thing is, when I ask a question, that question will not show up on the final video. So if you just start answering out of the blue, there's no context for the viewer. So try to take a part of the question and put it into your answer so they know what you're talking about.
So no sign language, basically.
No, and none of this. It doesn't work. No picking your nose.
So I can't act politically correct.
We don't want any political correctness. We don't want any politics in this at all. Rotary is non-political. No religion, you know. Just, so we've eliminated every topic of discussion, right? Let me start out with something easy, Joe. And can you let me know what Rotary clubs you've been a member of and how long you have been in Rotary?
Been in Rotary. I started out with the Morehead City Noon Club. John T. Capps was my sponsor, and he proposed me. I was in that club approximately 2 years, something like that. And of course, my work that I do is air conditioning, refrigeration. I'm countywide, statewide, countrywide, and sometimes I'm out of the country. So therefore, when you're down at the other end of Carteret County at Cedar Island, and it comes close to 12 o'clock, you got to leave and go in town to go to Rotary. So John T. and I had a conversation one day, and I said, what options have we got? And he said, well, one of them is maybe we can put together a breakfast club. So we started putting together folks that were in the same boat that I was to do a breakfast club. And it just mushroomed from there. And we chartered June the 29th. I believe it was in 83, somewhere in there. I'm not exact date on it. But our meeting place we had to have, we went to the Elks Lodge, which John T. also got me involved there, as he got so many people involved in everything local. And we met there for quite a few years until, well, quite a few, would be 2 years, I think it was, something like that, and then they moved. But then we started meeting at the hospital, because the hospital administrator was one of our members and very supportive. And we've been there ever since in the hospital, which I carried a perfect attendance in the Noon Club and carried that over into the Breakfast Club and had perfect attendance up until we ran into the COVID. And then we had to quit meeting at the hospital, and, you know, we met different places since then. And we're back in meeting in the hospital now.
Thank you, Joe. Let me follow up a little bit on that with the attendance, because that's one reason why I wanted to speak with you, was that Rotary has changed their attendance requirements, but you're old school. A lot of us are still old school. And can you explain a little bit about what the attendance policy was in the past for Rotarians when they joined, and how you kept up with your attendance?
Well, the attendance was very, very much a unwhippable requirement. Yes, that's good to be perfect attendance and attending the Rotary meeting, which is what it's all about. Of course, the other thing I found out very quickly in Rotary, that the other side of that is that no matter where I go, where I travel, whether it was in Asheville, North Carolina, whether it was in Curacao down to Dutch Antilles, there was a Rotary Club there. And even Nassau in the Bahamas, you always had a Rotary Club, and immediately you had acquaintances in those places. And that is the reason that there's no, well, unusual to say the reason that there's no reason, is that there's a Rotary Club someplace and you've got friends wherever you go. And I think that's probably as important an issue as anything you can possibly have.
Absolutely.
So you're able to do at home and you're able to do away from home.
So you were maintaining perfect attendance. If you couldn't go to your own club, you were going to any other club that was available, meeting at another time and place that was convenient?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Can you elaborate on that, using that concept in your sentence?
Well, in my thinking, it's just like a reason for my 100% attendance was, and the Rotary Club in Newport, which I'm in the town of Newport. If I had to leave out early or any other time, even the Rotary Club of Newport, I made up there so many times they wanted me to be president, but I couldn't very well be in 2 or 3 clubs and do all of it, but it's still the fellowship and is the object of a Rotary, and you're able to contribute there, you're able to contribute in your home club, as well as you can go to other clubs and pick up a lot of different things you can do, different avenues of service, different ways of performing those, and without that, I think you can get stale pretty easy.
Well, I don't think you've gotten stale at all, because I know that whatever club I've been at, I had probably a 50-50 chance of running into Joe Mitchell there, because over 20 years you do show up at all the different clubs. I want to ask you, what is the service project that stands out in your mind as being the one that was dearest to your heart, that you participated with your club?
I can't say that there's really any one special avenue of service that would be any greater than any one of the other ones. I know that our fundraising events and what we've done with it and how we participate with the fundraising and what we do with the receiving funds from that, what we do with the funding. And I think that's been probably the biggest object of Rotary and the biggest thing to do. I know one of our fundraisers has been the road race, which we started out with. One of our early members was Paul Dunn. He started out with that. He was very athletic and very interested in that. We started out with the Lookout Rotary Road Race, and we started out with going around and collecting tables and chairs and stuff to participate in those, which has been an all hands effort to do that. And then we progressed on to a trailer, and we had our own tables and everything. So that's probably the biggest avenue of service, which has been able to fund everything else. And I haven't been able, because of my work and everything, to participate in any of the services that is out of town, out of state type service. So community service has been my biggest thing.
Excellent. Now let me ask you one final thing, and that is, this is hopefully going to be a video that is viewed time and time again, that's going to be available for youth and young professionals, and to learn about Rotary and to capture the history of Rotary here in Carter County. So if you have one thing to say to a person who's going to see this in the future, what would you want to communicate to them about Rotary?
Of course, in the criteria of Rotary, the old days, as you referred it to, and I would rather not refer to old days because of my position now of age. But it's not only the participation, because if you're not there, we can't fellowship one with another and be able to have Rotary, as it is to be able to have a fellowship. And the requirement was that there is, each person in Rotary is of different avenues of service or work or whatever they do, whether we got, and of course our club has always been partial to lawyers and judges and that sort of thing, but it's always and always the best to have different folks doing different things. And the biggest thing is after we have our regular meeting and our speaker and our guest, which is very informational, is to be able to, I've had a problem with this, or I've had a problem with that, and you're able to communicate with each other and help each other. So I consider being in Rotary is as much a help situation or help others. That's the reason I think they did that with the original setup, was that one person from each place, instead of having 25 lawyers that's going to be there answering the same question of each other, it's going to be one air conditioning purpose, one lawyer having an air conditioning problem or whatever. So it works much, much better.
Thank you, Joe. You've been a constant in my Rotary life. You know, we've sat together many times at different Rotary Club meetings, and I thank you. I'm very noticed for you coming and showing up for this and participating in this project. And I will miss you on Tuesday night.
And I'm very glad to do it, and I hate not to be here Tuesday night, but my birthday's Monday.
Oh, my goodness.
And I've been having oral surgery,
Ooh,
which I'm still in the middle of now.
you said that. Thank you, Joe, and you've been very valuable. I appreciate it. Can't guarantee what's going to end up on this video.